Have you ever felt pulled in two directions at once? Maybe you've had to make a tough choice between two people you care about, or found yourself wishing you could be in two places at the same time. Now imagine that feeling, but it's not just about your attention. It's your money, your time, and your heart, all stretched to the limit every single day. This is the daily reality for millions in the sandwich generation. Adults who find themselves caring for both their children and their aging parents, often at the very same time. They're the caregivers for the young and the old, balancing love, responsibility, and immense pressure, often without a break or a clear path forward. Picture yourself as the filling in a sandwich. On one side, your kids need support for everything from school projects to college applications, and they look to you for guidance, encouragement, and stability. On the other, your parents may need help with medical bills, daily care, or simply someone to talk to as they navigate the challenges of aging. Most in this role are in their 40s and 50s, years that are supposed to be about building your own future, advancing your career, and maybe even planning for your own retirement, not just managing everyone else's needs. This isn't a rare problem. In fact, it's a growing trend as people live longer, have children later in life, and families become more spread out. The result? A generation providing care in both directions, often without a roadmap, and sometimes feeling invisible or unsupported. It's not just about money, though that's a huge part of the stress. The financial strain can be overwhelming, with college tuition, medical expenses, and everyday bills piling up. But it's also about the emotional weight, the constant juggling of priorities, and the feeling that there's never enough of you to go around. 1 hour you're cheering at your child's soccer practice, the next you're sitting in a doctor's office with your parent, trying to make sense of medical advice and paperwork. You might be paying for college applications and a parent's medication in the same week, all while trying to keep your own life on track. This is the life of the sandwich generation, a life filled with challenges, but also with moments of deep connection and meaning. It's a journey of love, sacrifice, and strength, where every day brings new demands but also new opportunities to show up for the people you love. Understanding this dynamic is the first step to managing it. Seeking support, sharing your story, and finding resources can make a real difference. The pressure is real, but so is the resilience. Every day, these caregivers find ways to keep going, even when it feels impossible. Every day, these caregivers hold families together, often with little recognition, but with a quiet determination that keeps everyone moving forward. Their story is one of quiet heroism, of small acts of kindness and big acts of love, repeated day after day. And it's a story more and more of us are living, a story that deserves to be seen, heard, and supported. Why is the sandwich generation growing right now? What's driving this unique moment in history, where so many adults find themselves caring for both aging parents and young children at the same time? It's a perfect storm of longer lifespans and shifting family timelines. People are living longer than ever before, and the age at which adults are having children keeps rising. Advances in healthcare mean parents live longer, often needing support for years, sometimes even decades, after retirement. This extended period of care can be both rewarding and challenging for families. At the same time, many adults are having children later in life, so their own kids still need care and attention, just as their parents begin to require more help. This compresses the timeline. Peak child-rearing costs collide with rising elder care needs, creating a financial and emotional squeeze that's hard to avoid. The financial landscape has changed too. Today's families face higher costs for education, healthcare, and housing, all while trying to support multiple generations. Fewer retirees have secure pensions, and many older adults haven't saved enough to cover the rising costs of living and care in their later years. Social Security often falls short, so adult children step in to fill the gap, juggling their own responsibilities while supporting their parents. It's not about poor planning, it's about society changing faster than families can adapt. The pressures are real and they're affecting millions. The rules of life have shifted and millions are caught in the middle, navigating uncharted territory with little guidance. This is a new reality, not a personal failure. Families are doing their best in a world that's changed dramatically in just a generation. The sandwich generation is adapting, stretching resources and emotions further than ever before, finding creative ways to make it all work. Understanding these forces helps us find solutions and opens the door to new conversations about support, policy, and community. And it's the first step toward change, toward building a future where families aren't just surviving but thriving together. For the sandwich generation, managing money is like fighting a war on three fronts. Every day brings new challenges, and the pressure never really lets up. It's a constant balancing act, with each decision carrying real consequences for the whole family. First, there's the cost of raising children: food, housing, activities, and the looming expense of college. From school supplies to after-school programs, every stage brings new expenses, and parents want to give their kids the best opportunities possible. Second, supporting aging parents, helping with bills, medical costs, or even long-term care. Sometimes it means stepping in to manage their finances or making tough choices about their health and well-being. Third, their own future. Retirement savings often get sacrificed to meet immediate needs. Planning for tomorrow feels impossible when today's demands are so urgent, and dreams of a secure retirement can start to fade. Every dollar spent on a parent's medication or a child's tuition is a dollar not saved for their own security. The math never seems to add up, and there's always something else that needs attention. This creates a dangerous cycle. Today's solutions can become tomorrow's problems. Short-term fixes often lead to long-term stress, and the financial strain can feel never-ending. The result? Constant juggling, impossible choices, and the risk of becoming financially dependent later. The fear of not being able to provide for everyone, including themselves, can be overwhelming. Do you pay for your daughter's summer camp or your father's hearing aids? Every decision feels like a sacrifice, and there's rarely a clear right answer. There are no easy answers, just tough trade-offs. Each choice comes with its own set of worries and what-ifs. The emotional and financial weight is immense. It's a burden that's hard to share, even with those closest to you. Yet, every day, these caregivers make it work. Their resilience is remarkable. They find strength in small victories and moments of connection, even when the odds seem stacked against them. But the struggle is real. And for the sandwich generation, the fight continues. One day, one decision at a time. Healthcare is the most unpredictable and often the largest financial challenge for the sandwich generation. A sudden fall or a chronic illness can trigger years of expensive care. Even with Medicare, out-of-pocket costs for drugs, equipment, and in-home aids can be staggering. Navigating insurance, bills, and care options is a full-time job, one that's unpaid and emotionally draining. The unpredictability makes planning nearly impossible. A family can be stable one day and in crisis the next. This uncertainty forces families to keep large emergency funds, sacrificing long-term growth. The stress isn't just financial, it's emotional too. Caregivers become advocates, fighting for coverage and clarity. The system is complex and the stakes are high. Every decision matters. The burden is heavy, but families keep going because they have to. Raising children comes with its own relentless bills. Daycare can cost as much as a mortgage, and expenses only grow. School fees, sports, technology, and summer camps. The biggest mountain, college tuition, which has soared in recent years. Many parents can't save enough, so their kids take on debt, impacting the next generation. There's also intense pressure to provide every opportunity, making it hard to say no. Families must choose between saving for college or covering a parent's care. These are heartbreaking decisions, pitting one generation's needs against another's. The parent in the middle often feels guilty, no matter what they decide. The financial vice is real, and the emotional toll is just as steep. Meet Sarah, a 52-year-old graphic designer, wife, and mother of two. Her daughter is in college, her son is applying, and her 81-year-old father needs daily help after a stroke. Sarah's finances are stretched thin: tuition, application fees, and her father's growing needs. She's stopped saving for retirement just to keep up. Medicare covers some of her father's care, but not all. She pays for his supplemental insurance, cleaning, and meals. Unexpected expenses, like a broken water heater, add to the strain. Sarah worries about affording future in-home care for her dad. She feels guilty when she's with her father, and guilty when she's not. Time for herself and her husband is rare, and their savings are dwindling. Sarah's story isn't unique. It's the reality for millions. They're doing their best, but the cost is high. The stress is constant, and the sacrifices are real. The financial squeeze is only half the story. The emotional toll is just as heavy. Caregivers face chronic stress, anxiety, and burnout, often feeling isolated and overwhelmed. Guilt is constant. Not enough time for kids, not enough patience for parents, not enough money for anyone. The role reversal with aging parents is tough. watching them lose independence, making hard decisions, and sometimes facing resistance. Relationships can become strained just when support is needed most. The stress impacts physical health too. High blood pressure, headaches, and exhaustion are common. Caregivers often neglect their own well-being, skipping doctor's appointments and ignoring burnout. In trying to care for everyone else, they risk their own health. It's a cruel irony. But recognizing these challenges is the first step to coping. No one should have to do this alone. Support matters. The challenges are real, but you're not powerless. Start with honest conversations. Talk openly with your spouse, parents, and kids about finances and expectations. Create a unified family budget that includes everyone's needs. Set clear priorities. Sometimes, even a small retirement contribution must be non-negotiable. Research resources, local programs for seniors, scholarships for kids, and community support. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Many organizations exist, but you have to reach out. Protect yourself. Automate retirement savings, even if it's a small amount. Take care of your health. Schedule time to rest and recharge. Consider professional help. A financial planner or therapist can make a big difference. Remember the airplane rule. Put on your own oxygen mask first. You can't help others if you're running on empty. Small steps add up. Planning brings peace of mind. And you deserve support too. You're not alone in this. If you're in the sandwich generation, it can feel isolating, but you're far from alone. Millions are walking this same path, facing the same pressures and emotions. A growing community is sharing stories, building support, and pushing for change. By speaking up, you help break the silence and reduce the stigma. Small victories matter. A thank you from your child, a grateful smile from your parent, a solved insurance problem. These moments remind you why you do this. You're honoring your parents and raising your children. You are the vital link holding your family together. Be kind to yourself and celebrate your resilience. Seek support from friends, family, and community groups. This chapter is hard, but it's not forever. Take it one day at a time, lean on others, and know you are strong. You will get through this.